going in there believing you're going to knock me out easily is the biggest mistake you're ever going to make in your fucking life. I promise you that. I promise you. Don't think you're going to get in there and just knock me out easy like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm going to go in there and I've made some mistake and I've just signed a contract and haven't taken this seriously. I'm not a fucking idiot, Chase. You understand me? So I think you should take this a lot more seriously. Have a little bit more respect for me. I'm now your boss. I respect you as an opponent. I respect you as an athlete. And don't be walking through life saying I'm going to knock Andrew out like it's nothing. Because it's not going to happen like you think it is.
A few moments later.
Maybe my job on this planet is just to take a fucking beating over and over again.
Andrew bloody up the top G like this. Big uppercut. Left. And he's down.
But I ain't gonna fucking cry about it.
Holding him down there, still a 220-pound body on top of him. Big right hand. It's over.
Chase looks wobbled.
Yeah, you got hurt right there with that right uppercut. That was a tough shot.
Chase DeMoor trying to put him away.
To make sure the mothers of my kids have a fantastic life, and to make sure that my kids have a fantastic life, and to teach you all things, and maybe I'm just here to fucking suffer and get my ass kicked.
Hey, the Cobra. Hey. The confidence is growing for Tate to work. A minute and a half left in the fifth round. He lands again. Chase DeMoor unloading to strike. Tate eating shot after shot, trying to escape.
And I'm going to do it all so I can give everyone else a fantastic life and give everyone else mindset advice.
49 seconds.
Nobody gives me mindset advice. Nobody helps me. Nobody helps me with my mindset and saves me when I'm depressed. No, maybe I'm just here to take a fucking beating like a piñata and give candy to everybody else. Maybe that's what God's plan was for me.
The story of Andrew Tate and its pathetic ending is proof that the phrase, "fake it till you make it," is not true. No matter how well you learn to pretend that you are a top-level fighter, when the moment of an actual fight comes, you have to honestly show your real skills. And honesty is clearly not about Andrew Tate.
When we're talking about people who have been through a lot, Andrew Tate has been through a lot, and a lot is actually going through him right now. I remember when I just made my video about a deep dive on Andrew Tate, there were a few comments below that video explaining to me that Andrew Tate's boxing career, it's as, let's say, lucrative as his influencing on young men has been. So it's basically a situation of he has been faking it until he cannot fake it no more. Well, I went into a deep dive into that, and I have to tell you guys, you are so right. It's unbelievable. I had heard rumors of it while I was making the video, and I watched some videos about it. And then there was a comment below my video that said he just got bitten by a guy in pink gloves. I said, no, this cannot be real. You have got to be kidding me. Andrew Tate, top G, the tough man, masculinity, in fact, toxic masculinity himself, will be beaten by a man in pink gloves. I know for a fact if a man walks into the ring with pink gloves, Andrew Tate will ensure that that man never lands a single blow on him with those pink gloves. What do you mean a man with pink gloves got Andrew Tate beaten? I told myself, well, maybe this man just wanted to throw him and walked in there with pink gloves. But, well, if he's a professional boxer and he got Andrew Tate beaten, well, we can pardon him. For example, not everybody wins. It's not long ago we saw a king himself in the ring got beaten by a YouTube or influencer. And it was a painful thing to watch, but then there are a couple of things that we were able to know that this man is still king, despite the fact that he was beaten in the ring. But the details of Andrew Tate's beating got really darker real fast. One, the guy who beat Andrew Tate is Chase DeMoor. If you don't know who Chase DeMoor is, oh, God. Long and short, he's a reality TV star. Oh, God. So this guy, one, he's not actually a boxer. And two, he is just a reality star. Now, there are categories of reality stars when it comes to this boxing thing. We have a few reality stars, YouTube stars, who have really dug their fingers into the boxing game the past couple of years, fighting people, organizing fights to have like these fighting matches, which are fun, and it gives them the backing to train and prepare themselves for it. So at least to a certain angle, we can see a little backbone in them when it comes to fighting. For example, this popular YouTuber, Jake Paul, the Jake Paul and Logan Paul, I think that is their name, the brothers, they were popular YouTubers turned boxers. They have been organizing fights and fighting, putting in their back into it. And at some point when someone said he fought a YouTuber, I thought it was one of the brothers because, well, fighting a social media person or an influencer, that would be the most logical one, right? No, actually, Andrew Tate fought Chase. Chase is a reality star, and it is not a matter of, please, I need you guys to whistle, tweet, do whatever you guys do to call Candace Owens' attention to Andrew Tate issues. She needs to report here. In fact, her presence, her defense is needed with immediate effect because this one, Andrew Tate cannot weasel his way out of, and his attempt at it has been, let's say, very much non-pleasant because I think most of his fans could watch him, observe him get beaten in pink gloves. But what they could not handle, stomach or smoke down, was him crying and bitching about it after the fact. That has been too much for people to handle when it comes to Top G. And before we move into this video, I would like to lay a few ground rules. If I catch you in the comment section making fun of Top G, I will block you. This is a serious video. We have to pay the man some respect, pity him a little bit. The man is going through a lot and a lot is going through him.
Nobody gives me mindset advice. Nobody helps me. Nobody helps me with my mindset and saves me when I'm depressed.
So at some point, if you feel like making fun of the man, I need you to take a walk around the park before you come back to this video, okay? Now, let us call the professionals to come and analyze what happened because apparently what happened was such debauchery that we cannot understand. And, you know, when it comes to the language of sporting people, I am not going to sit here and pretend that I understand a word of what they are saying. So sometimes I have to ask them to translate. You know how when you hear mathematicians talking about tan theta, sine theta, integration and differentiation, you start wondering, what does that mean? And they have to tell you that, yeah, it's the same thing with the sports people when they're talking. I'm like, so what do you mean by this thing you just call 50-30? Because theirs include a couple of numbers. They'll be like, it means he took a beating. I mean, like, how bad is the beating? And they'll be like, it means if you sent a woman in there, they will hand him the cake. I'm like, woo, they will give him the cake? Yeah, he will have the cake. Oof. At some point, the man was buffing and fluffing, and I don't know if he was like enjoying the ritual or humiliation of sniffing this guy's armpits because he was constantly on the junk, the knees. The man was so much on his knees that so many people started having thoughts of why he was constantly there. Those are not my thoughts. Go on Twitter, you will find elaborate explanations of that. As for me, I'm here to present to you. The professionals tell you exactly what happened. Then we can go into how bad Andrew Tate is managing or coping or the therapy session he has been going through with himself. I think it needs a better therapist. And I think the best therapist for him is always Candace Owens, the person who knows really well how to defend him, even in the most indefensible situations. So that is why I am pleading on you guys to whistle her, tweet her, call her, whatever you guys do to call her attention to Andrew Tate matters. This requires immediate attention. Now, let's hear the professionals.
Champion who has almost 100 fights under his belt. For a debutante with a supermarket's advertising on his back, Cosmic Lingurard did an excellent job. The story of Andrew Tate and its pathetic ending is proof that the phrase, "fake it till you make it," is not true. No matter how well you learn to pretend that you are a top-level fighter, when the moment of an actual fight comes, you have to honestly show your real skills. And honesty is clearly not about Andrew Tate, for whom, apparently, the career of a cool influencer has come to an end.
That Andrew Tate is nothing close to the world-class champion he claims to be. At best, he looked like an aging amateur who occasionally hits pads. True to form, Tate continued targeting the body, not because it was strategic, but because he had no idea how to reach the head of an opponent who was backing up with long, extended arms. A basic distance-closing sequence, such as a double jab followed by an overhand, was completely absent from his arsenal. Instead, he mindlessly worked the body, while Chase not only landed cleaner shots, but quickly realized he didn't even need to throw much in return. From the very first round, Tate posed virtually no threat. Recognizing this, Chase made a smart adjustment and began leaning into the clinch, draining Tate's energy with ease. You'd expect him desperately in the clinch, pretending to wrestle his way out of danger. There were even moments where knockdowns went uncounted, an unusual choice by the referee. By the end of the fight, Tate's face told the full story. Bruised, cut, and beaten. He lost virtually every meaningful exchange. Somehow, Andrew Tate managed to be thoroughly outclassed in what should have been the easiest matchup of his life. The most absurd moment came with the scorecards. One judge somehow scored the fight a draw. Thankfully, the other two awarded the win to Chase DeMoor, though even those scores were oddly generous. On paper, the fight may appear competitive. In reality, it wasn't even close. And that perfectly summarizes Andrew Tate's entire fighting narrative. Impressive.
Yeah, I'm 10 years out, 4 years old. Gave it my all, but he's tough. I don't know what to say. He's really tough. Congratulations to him.
4 years old, 10 years retired, a little bit of time in a Romanian dungeon. It was always going to be a big ask against someone so much bigger than me, younger than me, more active than me, but I wanted a real challenge.
Years old, I'm 10 years out the ring. I'd spent a little bit of time in jail and locked in my house. I have a lot going on, and he's younger than me, he's 20 kilo bigger than me, he's more active than me. I didn't fight a pussy, I fought the champ, so.
Oh, that was very, very painful to see, watch, and listen to. And now that we've heard everything that the professionals have to say, and at the beginning of, after they just finished the match, Andrew Tate had so many things to complain about. He was screaming about how this guy was older than him, stronger than him, taller than him, working out better than him. And I asked myself, Andrew, do you remember that? You have always tweeted and said, what do you call someone who loses? A loser. Sir, you're a loser. Stop being a sore loser. And the guy had another coping therapy session that was so, oh, Lord. For the top G, strong man, masculinity, it's giving the pink gloves got to him. It's giving the pink gloves turned him into the words he likes to call people. Yeah. And he's been going on this rant, and it is important that we hear what my brother had to say. Brother Tate, please take it away.
Tristan said to me, "What happened?" I said, "I got tired. I don't know why."
I think I have a pretty good idea why, Andrew. I can tell you the idea. I think even you know the idea, but it's just that at this moment we are starting. He's going to start so somber and calm, like he's not about to cry about it. He's not about to go. Give it a moment, okay? He says he doesn't know why. Andrew, you know why. Please tell us why.
He said, "You deserve that win. You've been through so much. You deserve that win." I said, "I know." He goes, "You trained so hard. You're in fantastic shape." I said, "I know. I just got tired. If I didn't get tired, I would have beat him. He couldn't hit me in the first round. Couldn't touch me."
This is a man who has built his career on lying about everything, telling himself every story he needs to tell himself in order to suit his ego, as well as lie to himself that he deserves everything. So at this moment, he thought that he was going to sleep around, smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, talk about rubbish, and then show up at the ring. And I'm sure when he heard Chase DeMoor, he thought, oh, I was going to do this guy something. And then when he walked in with pink gloves, he said, damn it, I'm going to finish you. And the pink gloves got him, So, Andrew, stop telling us that you worked. You didn't train hard. We saw what you did there. That was not training. I'm sure if a woman walked in there, she would have given you the D. She would have given you the cake. And you would have eaten it so good.
He said to me, "I'm tired, Andrew, of watching you find the silver linings in all of the clouds. You deserve to have a sunny day. You're so good at finding a silver lining on a cloud. Every time something bad happens, you find a way to learn something or make it good. But I'm tired of you having to suffer all the time."
Who is also tired? The women who are allegedly accusing you of all those things. Yeah, those women, I'm sure they were tired of being locked up in a room where they have to work money and you collect allegedly 50 or 70 or all of it. Those women, they are tired of looking for the silver lining in the case, which is being played around, and they can't find that silver lining. So while you're sitting there bitching about your life, complaining about all the things you've endured, people have actually endured a lot, especially from you allegedly, and they are still waiting for their justice. So that silver lining you're looking for, that lining might be just resting in you being somewhere working the punishment for everything you've done. And I think at this point, even you deserve it.
And look for the silver linings. Why can't you just ever have a nice day? Why can't you ever have a sunny day? I said, well, we've had so many fucking clouds that we've got a lot of fucking silver. So I guess that's what it is.
This is so sad. So sad to see Top G crying like this. This is him trying to prevent himself from crying. That laughter you hear there, that is the laughter you try to use to throw off the cry, the tears running through you, and the ones you're trying to share from your friends, fans, and every family member. The one that you would like to ensure that it doesn't show up, to kill the masculinity. In fact, the rest of it that is left, because most of it was boxed away in pink gloves. Damn, Chase. If I was the kind that chase people around their Instagrams and social media, I'd be chasing you right now. Chase DeMoor, you gave us Christmas.
I'm so good at finding the silver lining. When you throw me a cloud, I'll find the silver. Now I've got a big pile of it. Hundreds of millions of dollars of it. Anyone who thinks less of me for doing something I didn't have to do, for money I didn't need, for taking a risk with my life.
Andrew, we never thought less of you before now. We've always thought less of you. It's not a matter of this fight, but there are people who thought more of you and have thought less of you now. But what is our argument here? The problem is this. You didn't have to do this. Are you sure? Are you sure? You remember that you have told us that you used to make your money using a lot of the women, the webcam and all of those things. You said yourself, not me. Those who have watched the deep dives I've done on this man, two long parts of 1.5 hours at least. I have at least 3 hours of him telling us all the crap he did with women. So allegedly, you've been making your money using women by your own words, right? So all these years you've had investigations ongoing, you are worried because you've not been able to make that money, because according to you, you make your money using your women. So right now, you needed the money. You need that money. And I know you might have some savings and some things, but you needed that cash flow. So you needed to do the little thing. But I'm sure you thought in the back of your mind that you were going to win, because allegedly, before this fight started, it was like 90% or 90 something percent thinking that he was going to win, because everybody before the fight started was saying, how will he pick such a weak fighter for his comeback? Because this was supposed to be his grand comeback. Andrew Tate, the masculine top G, showing back off to show us all the awards and the championships he's had over the years in his boxing career, which is very questionable to begin with. And at the end of this video, I will add a video that explains all the bullshit. But he picked up a fighter who was non grata when it comes to even the play fighters like the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls. Everybody was wondering, why will you pick such a fighter? And just for him to not only pick that fighter, but for that fighter to beat his ass with pink gloves and a pants with pink on it and white shoes. Damn. I know you think that many people think less of you. No, the reason you brought it up is because you think less of you right now. It is not us. We saw the pause you had, the long pause, thinking about it, wondering, deep diving it in your mind, sieving it to try to understand where your masculinity went when pink gloves were giving you the punch and you were on your knees, on the back. And oh, god damn.
Has a character defect and a morality defect. And they're not the kind of people I want to like me. So that's fine. Anyone I've inspired has made it all worth it. And if I could go back in time, knowing the result, knowing I would lose in front of the world, I'd do it again.
Fat lie, big lie, lighting. That's a big lie. Sir, you know you are not going to do it again. I see how you're looking downwards. This is one thing about Andrew Tate you've always seen. Andrew Tate always sits in the house with glasses on because I don't know for what reason. Even in his interviews, he's always with glasses on. But do you know what Andrew Tate always does? His head is always looking up. He's always looking up. Even when he was accused of all those allegations, even during the time he's having interviews after those allegations against him from UK to Romania to the United States, I never saw Andrew Tate bend his neck on one side, look at his neck hanging on one side like a child who has been humiliated. I never saw that. But he got this fight and he feels humiliated. He feels his masculinity leaving him and entering those pink gloves that were punching him through every part of his body. He can feel the man in him leaving him, disappearing and melting into those pink gloves. And while he's sitting there, the only thing he can see are those pink gloves hitting him. And that is why he is angry. He is pained. Sir, the only one who feels like you are less of yourself is you. And I know you want to tell us that story because you feel that it has already been done. We watched it in 4K and there's nothing you can do. Sir, I know if you can go back in time, you will make sure you don't take that fight.
In my life, I have struggles none of you know about. Am I top G because I never lose? What kind of man would I be if I never lost?
You will be top G, Cobra Tate. Now you are the Cobra Tate. You'll be the man who never lose. You can pick the worst boxer of all time as his opponent and you still lost to pink gloves. Andrew, it's not about that. It is about you. Any other fighter losing a fight, nobody will bat an eyelash. One, they would have been a fighter in the ring that people will see, yes, he fought. He did his best. The difference with you and those is that they would have fought. You did not fight. You just got a beating in pink gloves. Second thing is this. Any other fighter, it would have been nothing. We would just go about our day because it is just normal. It's human to lose. Unfortunately, you don't believe in that same phenomenon. You say any man who loses is what? A loser. Sir, are you a loser? Yes, according to your words, not mine.
Imagine my life went perfectly all the time. Imagine I didn't need to go to the gym and I had muscles and I never lost a fight and I had money from the sky and any girl I wanted and I just went through life and got everything I wanted. I wouldn't even be a good person. I wouldn't be human. I wouldn't know anything about how the world functions. I couldn't teach you anything. I'm not top G because I've never lost. I'm top G because I've been hit so many fucking times and I get back up. I'm top G because I just lost a fight and I'll fight again today.
In lighting, you will not fight again anything today. You are not top G because you lost the fight and you fight again today. You are not top G because you never did anything. You are top G because you came to the internet and told your friends to call you top G and they called you top G. Case closed, please. Can we be real for the real? Can we do the real here? Your career as a kickboxer or boxer, whatever you call it, is a fake career. You faked it till you could no longer fake it. Your career as a chess player was a fake. You faked it till you could no longer fake it. Your career as an influencer was a fake. You faked it till you could no longer fake it. Case closed. The only thing you successfully did was did what you did to women. And we are still looking into those cases. We have not finished them. So please. Anyway, Cobra.
I'm top G because I'm not afraid. I'm top G because I'll keep fucking trying. Do you understand? It's not about never losing. It's about the fact that I will get up and try. It's about the fact that I'm not afraid to lose. And I'm not afraid to be ridiculed. And I'm not afraid to be mocked. That's how I built the life I built. That's how I got yachts and private jets and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, Andrew, I think you are living under a delusion here. I would like to let previous Andrew from the past, remind current Andrew how you made your money so that we don't have any kind of confusion. That's very absolutely important.
So let's first take a look from his own words, what he says.
Found this little webcam thing. So I text all my girlfriends. They're all coming here to live with me and work with me. All 5 flew in. This bitch. I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chick. And you're going to stay here and we're going to make some money. 3 left, 2 stayed. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. Got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up. Started being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. If all the other girls see me be disrespected, they're going to lose respect for me. Fact. I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. Got her shit out the window, so throw it out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. Text me, you owe me my last month's wages. I ain't paying you nothing. She went to the police and told the police I hit her.
This is how it starts. This is how law enforcement involvement with him starts.
5 in the morning, 4 months later, and I heard the door, boom, boom, and I heard police. There's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this gonna be? So I flush my phone down the toilet quickly, boom.
So I destroy evidence. Flush my phone down the toilet.
So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around, like, what do I have to hide?
I'm hiding shit. I'm destroying evidence. One of the problems that you have with a guy like this is there's a treasure trove of statements that he makes that a prosecutor can use to impeach him with if he ever decides to testify.
End up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So I got all these chicks. They're in love with me. They don't go out. They're not allowed out. Restricting somebody of their movement is part of force, fraud, or coercion.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurant, no club, no.
Do you get to eat? Do you get to take a shit? When you start controlling somebody like that, that is the crux of you come here on a promise, but when you get here, I control your every movement. That's coercion.
Forget the sex part. Start beating the shit out of you. I grab you by your neck, start annoying me, trying to resist. I just
That is who he's got to be in order to control these women, in order to keep the money coming in. Because he was broke before, right? Now he's making money off the backs of all these ladies brought to him because they're in love with him. Their movement is restricted. According to him, they're beaten. That is slavery. One of the issues that you're going to have for somebody that has multiple citizenship is whether they're a risk of flight or not.
If I fuck up, England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English. I have so many passports. Are you going to block them all?
He's got so much content that's out there that it just flouts any notion that he's not a flight.
Is that you, Andrew? Is that you? Okay, let's keep going with your damn.
Because I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid to be laughed at. And I'm not afraid to get fucking hurt. That's why. I put it on the line. I get in the arena. Everyone with an opinion is on the sidelines. Imagine living a life where you're so afraid of loss that you never get to win. You sit in the corner as a coward, writing Twitter comments at people who take risks you will not take. As an insignificant, unknown, a nobody. And you're so afraid of someone saying something bad about you that you're going to sit there and not take the risk. What kind of fucking man does that make you? It makes you the kind of man who is forgotten to history. Napoleon is in the history books. He lost battles. Muhammad Ali lost. Tyson lost. Champions sometimes lose. Sometimes the stars just don't align and you just lose.
You know the difference between you and those people you just mentioned? They were professionals in their various careers. Muhammad Ali, please don't mention his name in the same phrases as yours, okay? Don't mention Mike Tyson. Okay, in the same phrase as yours. Don't mention any of those people because they built their career on the backbone of hard work, something you know little or nothing about, because your career was built on things you have said yourself, and none of those. Let's leave that for now and move forward. Sir, you cannot dare to compare yourself to those people. Those were professionals. You were beaten up by a man who doesn't know how to throw a punch. And he is not just a man who cannot throw a punch. He's an influencer. That puts a wrap on that so-called championship career of yours.
What they want. Maybe my job on this planet is just to take a fucking beating over and over again and just pay for everyone else and give everybody else what they want. To make sure the mothers of my kids have a fantastic life, and to make sure that my kids have a fantastic life, and to teach you all things. And maybe I'm just here to fucking suffer and get my ass kicked, and I'm going to do it all so I can give everyone else a fantastic life and give everyone else mindset advice. Nobody gives me mindset advice. Nobody helps me. Nobody helps me with my mindset and saves me when I'm depressed. No, maybe I'm just here to take a fucking beating like a piñata and give candy to everybody else. Maybe that's what God's plan was for me. But I ain't going to fucking cry about it. If that's what God wants me to do, then that's what I'm going to fucking do.
First of all, I would like you leave God's name out of your mouth, okay? Yeah, I will need you to do that for us. It is very important not to confuse our confusion. It is already confusing as it is right now. We don't know if you're Christian, Muslim, or what you are. It doesn't matter. But the thing is this, when you want to talk about your beating, taking your beating in the pink gloves like a piñata to give everyone candy, I would like you to keep God's name out of your mouth, because he did not send you in that ring. He didn't ask you to go take any beating. What beating are you taking? Can we talk about the women who have been taking beatings from you over the years, allegedly? Can we talk about those? Or it is just your own beatings you want to cry about? The reason you don't have anyone to take care of you or help your mental health situation is because you have decided to be a damn person who doesn't think he needs anybody. That's why you're here self-soothing and looking for somebody to help your mental health, and there's no one there because you thought the only thing you needed were Bucattis or whatever thing you needed, and exploiting women and using the money, using whatever you want to, and go about your day. Normal, regular human beings who have normal human family members, friends in their lives, they don't say things like that. This is evidence right here that this is a man who has nothing of value to himself. That is why he's crying on the internet that he doesn't have a support system. So even his own brother probably doesn't give him enough support. And I don't blame him, because they both have built a career on looking at everything as just a joke, a show, and just something you take advantage of. Human beings to them are disposable and not people. You don't treat them like people. You end up with those kind of prizes. This is a man who doesn't speak to his sister just simply because her sister has a different view from him, because his sister is a feminist. And he feels like that is something that should stop him from speaking to his sister. That should tell you enough about who this man is. He has a mentality he collected from his father. Yes. And when I say this, some people will say, what do you mean? His father was a man who was absent in his life. He spent his life walking around in the name of playing chess, gambling, and going about his day as if he didn't have 3 children left to his wife to take care of. And his wife had to sit there, take care of these 3 kids all by herself while he moved around floundering and whatever he did. And I saw Tate on a podcast trying to cope and say that his father was an amazing man. And somebody was telling him, no, your father abandoned you to your mom to take care of. No, but I didn't feel. It took him a while for him to realize it. But this is a broken man, a man that has been broken from childhood. That's why he did not think he needed real connections with people. And this is the man who was trying to inspire young people in order to know how to live their lives so that they can grow up having the same kind of problems he's having right now. He doesn't have someone to vent to. He doesn't have anyone who he can go and cry out to to say, hey, I need help. My mental health is at stake. The reason he doesn't have that is because he's a fucking coward. A man who has built a career on exploiting the people around them, not creating real connections, genuine human connections. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't know what that means. And this is the man many young people think they want to put their life on. I hope you all see what is going on here. And the young men who are still following him, someday you wake up. If it was like he had taught them how to really discern, they will see a clip of him like this, self-coping, self-therapizing, and telling himself he doesn't have a single person in his life, not even his family, that he can go to when he is mentally broken. That tells you everything about a man. It tells you everything about this man. He's a broken man. A broken man. The only thing that gives Andrew Tate self-validation, the only thing that makes him feel like a man is when he's out here in the street telling the boys that he's top G, when he's out here using people, when he's out here exploiting people. And when he cannot do that because, one, he is under investigation, he feels like a victim. Meanwhile, the real victims out there are victims he made. And he's sitting here telling himself how much, he needs a win. Win from what? Win from who? Have you ever given any other person a win in your life? You cut off your family because of different thoughts, belief, point systems? God damn, you're pathetic. This is just one of those things where you should understand the value systems of a human being. And Andrew Tate has proven it time and time again. If he's not exploiting someone, if he's not using you for money, even the women he goes into relationships with, he wants to sit and claim about he's a father. What kind of father are you? The women you have kids with, the only thing you do is have kids with them. You have nothing that has to do with family values. I don't know how the so-called conservatives who back you up. Candace Owens, please come help your brother because his self-soothing therapy is not working. At least you are good at making him feel better about himself. Please show up. This is when he needs you. And right now I'm going to add a clip here where we will look at a few things about his career that don't even make sense, because at the end of the day, this is a broken man, a man who has lived his life just exploiting people, and when things don't go his way, he wants to claim he's a victim. Victim of what? I don't even have an idea. But guys, as you've seen, Andrew Tate is a man who is going through a lot internally, and it shows externally. So if you think that this is the man you want to follow as your example of human being, well, grace and peace be with you, because you are going to need a lot of it. Yes. Thank you for coming to the end of this. I hope you didn't make fun of our brother in the comment section. Please don't make fun of him. Just give him kind advice how to go forward from here. He actually definitely needs the mental health support. You've heard him cry about it. He says nobody comes to his aid. Nobody comes to his help when he is down or bad. When he's going through mental trauma, nobody comes to his help. So please, guys, be kind to the man. Send him some love, support, and assurance that at least as soon as he pays for all his crimes, allegedly, he will find some solace, peace, and repentance if he dares to try it. Because the truth, the strength of a man doesn't come from just going about the world as you like. It comes from accepting the consequences and truly knowing when to take a new page and write a new story about yourself. Until next time. Bye.
Look, I was filming Love Island last week, so I'm good. My camp's completed. I was having Mai Tais on the beach. This job's done. December 20th. Good night, Andrew Tate. Top G. What happens when you send a Cobra to a goat?